Behold, the instruction manual for Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. SNS MQ USA. Super Nintendo Mystic Quest USA release. Standard Super Nintendo cover. You know, the big black area with a little bit of like what the cover of the box art looks like. But it's when you actually start getting into this thing that it goes just nuts. I forgot they used to call them game packs. It was like the whole thing, like with it, just no C, just PAK, game pack. I don't know if that was like a thing Nintendo did or what. So now we have the actual plot. For centuries, the Focus Tower had stood at the very heart of the world. It had been the center for trade and knowledge, and people of the world had met there to peacefully settle their differences. But on one warm summer day, the tower was suddenly transformed into a symbol of the purest evil. For on that day, powerful monsters battled their way into the tower, stole the 4 crystals of the earth, and took them with the magical coins that had kept the tower's doors unlocked. That is a terribly weird way of phrasing that. The coins kept the doors unlocked. Wouldn't it just be easier to say they took the coins, thus locking the doors? Or sealing the doors? I don't know. It just seems like a weird way to phrase it. With the tower doors sealed behind them, the monsters relaxed their guard and turned their attention to the crystals. As they basked in the radiant glow of the crystals, the monsters grew stronger and meaner and even more wicked. The more light the monsters consumed, the more the world was drained of its warmth and color. Tremors shook the land, the sky grew cloudy and dark, the seasons went berserk. Monsters appeared everywhere and terrorized the people. The world was thrown into total chaos. Chaos! Something had to be done. Enter Benjamin. That's right, the main character of Mystic Quest actually has a canonical name, and it is Benjamin. I'm going to call him Benji. If I had known that, I would have changed my character name at the start to Benji. Benjamin was the most normal youngster you could imagine. Like the most responsible villagers his age, he arose at the crack of dawn to take over his family's livestock in the upper meadow to graze. And the kids teased him because he read while tending to his herd, and because the village elder had taken him as a promising student. Although Benjamin had seemed mature beyond his years, he dreamed of being more than he was. Faster, stronger, more daring, but not as much as whatever NPC will be escorting him through that section of the game. Little did he know his wishes were about to be fulfilled the hard way. And that's it. That's where it ends. I don't know. And then it goes into the game mechanics. You have the quest begins, you have how the map works, what all the buttons do, explanation of every single one of the icons, what subtitles are, entering the icons, exiting the icons. Remember where the entrance is. If you walk out where the entrance is, you go back to the map. These are things that like you never get explained nowadays. That's just generally assumed. But it's one of those things that I find fascinating that they actually used to explain. No, you see, to get back to the world map, you have to exit the dungeon, or exit the map you're on. You can't enter battlefield icons that have already been cleaned out, but fear not, there will be more battlefields to come, and more treasure to be won. So if you're unable to enter, they have all this wonderful art. This is amazing looking stuff. It kind of reminds me of the artwork they used for the, and I wonder if it's the same artist, but the instruction manual and strategy guides for Link to the Past. Name, John Doe. Can you actually have a name that long in the title thing? That's actually pretty impressive. 8 characters. Your name, your current weapon, your life meter. Your second party member. People come and go. Throughout the game, you'll have joined people. People will join people for a while and then leave. You can never have more than one ally at a time. Because in traditional Final Fantasy fashion, you know, you can only have 2 people in a party. So if you're ever wondering if you can just have a party when it's just you and your buddy hanging out, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest says yes. Although they're usually stronger than the hero, characters joining your adventure won't gain levels. Oh, good to know that's confirmed. I noticed that as a pattern, but I didn't really know that if that was a intended thing or they just gained XP much slower. And won't grow in ability and strength as you do. Interesting. Some people who join you during the game leave rather abruptly. You can make your quest more enjoyable by writing down their names of their characters, their relationship to other characters and hometowns, and so forth. Keep a journal of your playing through our game. There's a lot of characters. They all have names. You probably won't remember most of them. It explains how speech bubbles work, including the fact that the little arrows will point to who's talking and their text box will light up a different color when they're the one talking. Open all the chests. Chop down trees. Jumping. And here they explain the menu and all of the different things in it, including showing you exactly what all the items you can get are. But that's not it. They're not just showing you the items. Oh, no. Here's the stats on the types of magic work, the Venkian system they use. I love this because it's like, here's how every single page of this is like, this menu, this is all the buttons for this menu. And they're pretty much all the same. They're just on every page, just here's a reminder of how the menu controls are. Yeah, they keep doing it. This shows the explanation of what all the different terms are. Again, something that is not surprisingly very well done or explained very often in Final Fantasy games nowadays. Like, what exactly accuracy does? What does magic do? Like, you have stats in Final Fantasy games. It's like, what is your willpower? And a lot of games, or spirit, and it won't explain what these stats do or what they affect. Why is this an important one? Like, I get magic, I get strength. What is willpower? What is vitality? Is vitality defense or my health? Don't know. That's why I was so blown away when in Final Fantasy 16 came out. They actually had a thing where if you drag your cursor over the different stats on your status screen, it'll tell you what each stat does. Mind-blowing that we've gotten away so far from this that we just completely just assume things, but we don't know. Game has a built-in clock. T represents time. Ooh, tips on saving. Save your progress frequently so that you don't have to retrace your steps in the event of the lost battle. We know that, don't we? We learned that the hard way. Didn't we? Life indicate. Press up and down to highlight the life indicate window. Left to right to choose scale or figure. Scale displays the bar graph of your vitality. Figure displays the vitality as a fraction. Oh, I could just show the numeric value. Oh, I am so switching that when we get into the game because, oh man, that is so much easier to understand than the weird stack of multiple bars. And then it kind of gives a whole breakdown of exactly how every combat works. This is what blew me away. This section is what drove, like, I knew I had to show you guys. I couldn't just talk about it. I had to show you guys. Because this is something I thought was mind-blowing in terms of what an instruction manual offers to you. Because before, it's like, oh, here's all the menus, here's all... And granted, that's still a lot more than what they've shown in modern-day instruction manuals. Heck, modern-day games don't even come with instruction manuals anymore. They come with, like, a link that's like, go here for all the safety information about epilepsy and stuff. But they don't give you any explanation of the games. And then half the time, they don't tell you in the game either. And we wonder why the hobby itself feels like it's such a gatekeeping thing that, like, keeps new players out. But here, check this out. Cure potion, yeah. Multi-key. Opens everything that's locked. Ask Tristram about it when you can't unlock a door. Mask. Lets you see through things through the gas. Find it in the volcano. Magic mirror. Lets the monsters see where you're invisible. Ice pyramid. Thunderrock powers up the Rainbow Road. What's the Rainbow Road? Have we even found a Rainbow Road yet? Are we going to run into Mario and friends? I don't know. But apparently we find it in Fireburg. The Libra Crest. You find that in the Wintry Cave. The Gemini Crest? That's in a battlefield. Mobius Crest? That's in Spencer's place. Who's Spencer? I don't know. Interesting enough, the one thing they don't tell you is how to get the exit magic. Which honestly is probably the most useful white magic in the game, just simply because otherwise you have to walk back manually through every other dungeon. You don't have to fight anything because all the sprites are predetermined, but it's just annoying. But see, like life, you find it in the lava dome. Heal, you find it in the Falls Basin. Meteor, you get it in the Alive Forest. Quake is in the Bone Dungeon. It tells you where to find everything. Thunder comes from a battlefield. And it keeps going like this. The Night Sword, you find it in the Ice Pyramid. Excalibur, Pazuzu's Tower. Every item in this game, the instruction manual will tell you where it's located in the game. With the exception of the exit magic. I guess they just ran out of room on the entry. It is kind of full. I did not know that if you use the exit magic in battle, you essentially banish your enemy. It's like an insta-kill spell. Also gets you out outside. Very useful. But yeah, this is just insane. I've never... Imagine if Zelda had a thing where it listed off exactly which item is found in which dungeon and what you can do with it. Like if you run into a thing where it's like, oh, well, there's a moat. I don't know how to get across moats. Let's look in the instruction manual. Oh, the raft in Dungeon 5. And then, that's not enough. We're on page 20-7, by the way, of this manual. There's a section at the end here called Here We Go. What is that? Well, it's a complete walkthrough of the entire first part of the game. Like, from the start all the way to getting the Earth Crystal. It explains each of the battlefields. It explains the bosses. It'll take you all the way to the point where you first meet Phoebe when you're going into the ice area. That is 11 pages of walkthrough at the end of the instruction manual. You're not just getting the game and the explanation, you're getting game facts at this point. It astounds me that this happened. Also, if you're still having trouble, here's a phone number to call for game counseling. I don't know if this number still works. It's got a 206 area code, which is Seattle. So I assume this is the phone number, at least at the time, They say the Mystic Elders of Square. I'm betting this is the actual Nintendo gaming hotline of all things. Remember to get your parents' permission if they're paying for the call. Wait. So if I don't get their permission, are they paying for the call still? I'm just kind of curious about that language again. Get your parents' permission if they are paying for the call. Because, I mean, if you're like 8... Phoebe, what happened to you? There we go. But if you're like 8, you don't understand who's paying for the phone call. The phone just works. Or at least it used to be. Now you have cell phones and all that sort of thing. But like when this game was, there was just landlines. And you didn't know how that stuff worked. Not to mention, this isn't a 900 number, so it's not like I'm calling to hear Hulk Hogan tell me about what I want for Christmas. It was a thing for a while. 900 numbers didn't always have the reputation they have now. I mean, they did that too back then, but that wasn't the only thing they were used for. I'm old, I know. You come here because I'm old. Anyway, yeah, no, that's the instruction manual for Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. How insane is that? Was blown away finding that, because it's just like, I have never in my life seen an instruction manual give that much detail. Even at the time, that was unheard of. Like, going into the whole thing of giving you the whole walkthrough for the entire section of the game? Holy cow! Mind blown.